JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 29th of July 2021, so welcome everyone guys. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, check us out here on jfdbank.com, and yeah, click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is not DXY. I'll get to that one, but it's Nikkei 225. So, so far we continue to trade above this highlighted territory, the one that I spoke about previously, and that's the area near the 27,385 zone. And yep, for now we will remain careful here, because again it seems that it always keeps getting closer to this area, but it's struggling to overcome it. So if we want to aim for the downside, then yes, we need to wait for a nice daily close below this hurdle, below this 27,385 zone, and then yes, we could aim for some lower levels. For the upside, we need to see at least a push somewhere back above this 28,040 territory, approximately around here. That's near the current highest point of this week, and if we clear that, then we could see the index pushing a little bit to the upside. However, let's not forget that we still have some obstacles here on the top, but yep, I will keep that for later. For now, let's see if we can break through one of these barriers that I just mentioned. Shanghai Composite, beautiful reversal here to the upside, beautiful gap, beautiful island reversal, as you can see here. So yep, what I said to you yesterday, that if we somehow manage to climb and stay above this 3,373 territory, which is marked by the lowest point of April, that's where yes, we could see maybe a nice good push higher, initially aiming for that 3,417 territory, and look at this beautiful move towards that area. Or we could climb a little bit higher towards the 200-day EMA. So for now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stick to something like this, because let's not forget that we are now trading below this short term, or actually more of a medium term upside support line, taken from the low of the 9th of March. So keep that in mind, guys. Because in a way we could see a further push north, but if it finds resistance somewhere around here, another slide could be possible. With the upside, we need to see a nice good move here back above this upside line, and maybe also above this hurdle, not this one right here, but this one right here. Let me just put this one on the chart, and that's the level at 3,470 territory. So a nice good push above that may attract more buyers, and we could see a nice push towards maybe the highest point. I think that's the highest. No, sorry, that's not the highest point, but the high of last week, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. So the high of last week was near the 3,576 territory. So if we climb above this area, above this 3,470 territory, then yes, I'll aim for slightly higher levels. Hang Seng index, also beautiful push here, and well, to be honest, this idea worked out nicely. So yesterday, when I was talking about the Hang Seng index, we were kind of trading around here, and what I said that if this area continues to provide support, we might see a nice rebound and a push back towards this 26,000 territory, which is going to be my next target. And as you can see, that worked out perfectly, so that's good news. We even managed to climb above it and stay above it, so in a way, yep, for now I would say, let's see, oh, and by the way, of course, the move higher here, of course, was with the help of the gap here, with the help of the equity markets kind of stabilizing a little bit. So yep, I'm talking about the other equity markets like the US and Europe, and yep, that kind of had a knock-on effect here on the Hang Seng index as well. So we pushed back to the upside. We're now kind of trading nicely above this psychological 26,000 territory. If we continue to trade above it, then yes, I will continue aiming slightly to the upside. I'm not really dragging this one way too much higher because, and you probably can see it yourselves, and let me just take this line here, and I'll recycle this line. Always recycle, guys. There's a hidden message for you. There we go. So this is what I'm going to be aiming for initially, and I'm going to aim for this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 28th of June, and also together with the 26,862 territory as well, right here. And if we find resistance, if we find a good hold up here, then of course another slide could be possible. But for now, long story short, basically the fact that we are still trading above that 26,000 territory, that gives a bit of hope here for the buyers, at least in the near term. The German index, DAX, and look at this. I mean, the index continues to oscillate around the 21-day EMA, so that's what we are going to stick to, and for now. And as I said before, although we could see maybe this one reversing a little bit higher still, for the upside, I would prefer to wait for a push above the 15,681 zone, marked by the high of the 23rd of July. And that's of course the last week's Friday's high. If I'm not mistaken, that's also last week's high. Yep, there we go. So a nice good push above last week's high may attract more buyers, may invite more bulls into the game here, into the field, and we could see maybe a possible test of the current all-time high. Near the 15,810 zone, but if that gets cleared, then certainly higher levels could be met, new all-time high, and all that, and all these things basically. So at the moment, guys, long story short, if you're looking for the upside, probably the safer option here is there we go. Sorry, there we go. My risk disclaimer popped in again. So if you're looking for the upside, I do understand it might be tentative maybe to jump in somewhere around here, but to be honest, I'd rather be on the safe side, and I'd rather kind of wait for a push above this 15,681 territory in order to get a little bit more comfortable with higher levels. For the downside, well, of course, a break of this upside line is required, but if we get closer to this area, and this is where I will reevaluate things again, because at the moment I would say that even if it drops somehow back below this 15,456 territory, which, as you can see, kind of continues to act as a decent area of support. If we drop back below it, then we will consider a bit of a larger correction here towards this upside line. But then, like I said, we'll take it from there. NASDAQ 100. So yesterday it kind of ended up with a small little gain here, so kind of giving a bit of hope here for the buyers. We managed to, what's interesting here is that we managed to drop the previous day. We managed to close below the that 15,000 territory, but yesterday we managed to come back and stay above that 15,000 territory, just fractionally above it, of course. If we take a look at the cash index right now, where we are trading at the moment, we'll see that the price is actually balancing just fractionally below that 15,000 mark. So this is going to be quite an interesting battle here, I think, for the bulls and the bears near this that psychological 15,000 mark. And in a way, if the bears manage to stay in charge, I mean, stay and keep the index below it, then, well, I mean, there is a greater chance that we could see maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the downside. And the reason why I'm saying correction, because we now have this little tentative upside line, which is drawn from the low that 19th of May of 2021, of course. And this medium term, more of a medium term upside line. So for now, guys, no, sorry, short term, still short term. There we go. Managed to calculate that one correctly now. So yeah, this little short term tentative upside line, this is something that we're keeping an eye on for now. Also, you can see that it kind of is very close to the 21-day EMA. So in other words, if we see a break of all this territory right here, and we see a drop somewhere below this 14,717 territory, then, well, I mean, this is where the gates could open up for the bears to run wild, and we could see maybe a bit of a further decline here. But at the moment, it is how it is, guys. We're still, like I said, battling around that psychological 15,000 mark. So let's see who's gonna win here. But if you want to be a little bit more on the careful side, well, the little kind of, let's say, suggestion here is maybe to keep an eye on the current all-time high near the 15,142 zone, or at least if you're looking for something for today, then keep your eyes on the yesterday's high, which is around the 15,079 territory. A nice good clearance of that level may open the door towards some higher levels. Now, the dollar index, so beautiful move to the downside. Everything's working according to the plan. So if you remember in the beginning of this week, I told you that I'm keeping an eye on this little short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 25th of June, and if it gets broken, then yes, we could consider some lower levels, especially if the index also falls somewhere below this 92.51 territory, together with the 21-day EMA. And, well, that's happening perfectly right now. So we are kind of drifting lower below that area, and as what I said then, that my next target is the 92 territory right here, and marked by the low of the 6th of July. So that level also coincides with the 200-day EMA. So this is what I'm keeping an eye on right now. Initially, like I said, I'm aiming for this one, but of course, if it breaks this, then further declines are possible. There are some better levels here, but let's go slowly, step by step here. For now, that's what I'm aiming here for, and let's see if we can get a little hold up near this 92 territory. Jumping into gold very quickly, so pushing nicely to the upside. Yep, of course, weaker dollar is giving, attracting those gold buyers, and the most important, we are now back above all of the EMAs, and we're back above the 1814 zone right here. And yes, if we push further north here, I mean, should I actually, should I rephrase this one? If we stay above this 1814 territory, then yes, there is a possibility, a good possibility that we could see a further move north. So keep that in mind. By further move north, I mean at least towards maybe this 1834 territory or this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 1st of June. This is where a holdup might occur. So yep, let's see how that's going to play out, of course. But for now, I'm keeping an eye on this barrier here in the 1814 zone. If we stay above it, then as I said, my next target is the downside resistance line, or with the 1834 level. WTI oil, so pushing nicely to the upside, so everything is kind of working out okay here for oil. At the moment, I mean, I'm still sticking to this idea that I mentioned in the beginning of this week, that we might see a bit of a corrective move lower first and then a push higher, and so far it's working out. So this we did already have that move lower. Now it seems that we're continuing to push higher, so slowly I'll continue aiming for the 75.47 territory marked by the high of the 13th of July. However, of course, we might not even reach that, but again, this is my ideal scenario that I'm mentioning here, guys. Again, it might maybe even find the resistance somewhere around here and then reverse and correct lower again. So basically, for now, looking at this picture, like I said, if we take everything only as it is at this point in time, then yes, I'm still a little bit more bullish than bearish. We'll keep an eye on the dollar index, of course, as well. And so yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. But for now, I'm aiming, like I said, still for the upside, as long as it stays above that 21-day EMA. So far, it's doing a good job. Quick update on Bitcoin. So something that I talked about in the beginning of this week, and in the beginning of this week I said to you that if the two EMAs together with the 100-day EMA together with the 200-day EMA do provide a good resistance, then we might see a nice correction here to the downside. But if it pushes above that area, above these two EMAs, then yes, I'll aim for slightly higher levels, but I'll only aim for that 41,273 territory, because again, as I said before, what I'm kind of keeping in mind of here, and what I'm keeping in mind here is a potential kind of range here. Again, let's see if that's gonna play out or not, but at the moment that's what I'm gonna stick to, and I want to see if this is gonna be the case or not. So again, so far we're seeing a nice move higher, but will it overcome this barrier? Well, let's wait and see. If not, then basically we could see a bit of a corrective move back down here, especially if the crypto falls back below these two EMAs, the 100-day EMA and the 200-day EMA, and then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a correction here within this little range. If this is going to continue to provide resistance, if this barrier is going to continue to provide resistance, then yes, we will, like I said, we'll continue classing this one as a range. Now jumping into a few pairs, AUDCAD. So this one's quite interesting. So of course, oil is recovering. You can see that the Canadian dollar is picking up the pace here again, and against its major counterparts. And of course, Australian dollar is one of those. So for now, I mean, everything's kind of working out okay here. And actually, let me just clear up this chart because there are way too many lines. Let's start have a fresh start, I would say. There we go. So first of all, let's not forget that we're still trading below this downside resistance line, taken from the high of the 25th of February. So this one right here, we are now kind of testing the low, the current, actually, well, the previous already lowest point of July, because we kind of overcame it today, this morning already, but we're still kind of, the bulls managed to push it back the rate pushed. They managed to push the rate back above it. So this 0.9218 territory, that's what I'm keeping an eye on for now. If we get a clear drop below this, then certainly lower levels could be met, and we could then aim for something like this here. Let's just put this one on the chart. Actually, that's very, very close. So, yep, probably that's gonna end. We're gonna end up with this little hurdle here, the low of the 27th of May of last year, and that's roughly around the 0.9065 zone. Again, it's not an ideal scenario, to be honest, because that's way too big of a move at the moment, I would say. Maybe something in between here could be a nice good target initially. So that's the inside swing low here of the 25th of May of 2020, and that area is roughly around the 0.9128 territory. So yeah, long story short, basically, guys, if you're looking for the downside, yes, we're waiting for that nice good drop below this 0.9218 territory. If we drop below it, then yes, we'll aim for further declines, because such a move here will confirm a forthcoming lower low. And for the upside, of course, we need to see maybe a break of this upside line initially, and some other levels should be overtaken as well. But to be honest, at the moment, let's say if we do push higher, we'll keep an eye for now on this downside line only. If we do break this, then I'll pick up maybe on this level here, or maybe something a little bit here, so the 0.9377, but again, it might change, but like I said, for now, that's the kind of the game plan. USDCAD is of course pushing lower. We have a weaker dollar, we have a stronger Canadian dollar due to rising oil price, and yep, that's the effect we're getting here. So we're breaking this upside line, and this is what I said to you in the beginning of this week, guys. If we get a hold up near this upside line, then yes, we might see a nice rebound, but I would prefer to wait for a move above the 200-day EMA first. However, instead we broke the upside line, and we're now kind of moving towards a further correction here to the downside, because let's not forget that we are still trading above this little another short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 1st of June, and of course this is a bit of a tentative line, but nevertheless it could be a nice target here. What I'm gonna aim here is for something here for this level, 1.2423, and like I said, it's not far from that upside line, and if it holds, a nice rebound could be possible, so keep that in mind. A quick update on USDCHF, also drifting nicely to the downside. So far so good, everything's working out here. The only thing is that previously I talked about maybe this level here as a target, as a potential target, the 0.90 territory, but now I'm gonna stick to maybe at the moment for this one, the 0.9054, marked by the inside swing high of the 4th of June. So at the moment, basically, yes, we are breaking this key support zone. If we continue to trade below it, my next target, as I said, is that 0.9054 territory, and then I'll take it from there. GBPUSD, so good, beautiful steep up move here, and most importantly, yes, we have managed to not only climb back above this upside line right here, which is taken from the low of the 18th of May of 2020, but we're also managed to break the downside resistance line taken from the high of the 1st of June. And we also managed to stay above this hurdle here, where the high of the 12th of July, and I think that was the previous, yep, there we go, that was the previous highest point of July. So we created a new high for July, so that we overcame the 1.3910 zone, and we're currently sitting above it. If we can continue sitting above it, my next target is the psychological 1.40 territory, guys, and then I'll take it from there. I'm not going to drag this one way too much to the upside. For now, I'm just going to stick to this target instead. Quick update on Euro NZD. I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, to be honest, but it's quite interesting because we continue to oscillate around these 3 EMAs here. As you can see, we're just up and down, up and down. We're kind of I wouldn't say, oh well, we could be forming here a possible ascending triangle here. So basically we have our upper side of the triangle right here, and we do have an upside line, which is the lower side of the potential triangle here, and that's right here. So again, not to mention that we continue to trade above this upside line here, medium term upside line taken from the low of the 24th of February, but we're also kind of forming something like this. So in a way, all this looks a bit more positive than negative. So let's see if we can actually overcome this barrier right here. That's what I'm looking for here. I'm waiting also for a push above the 1.7128 territory, not only above that 1.71 zone, but I'll start aiming for the upside if we clear this 1.71 territory right here, roughly around here. And finally, EURUSD, guys. So yep, pushing further north. So beautiful move here to the upside. Anyway, this idea is working out, and what I said to you that in the beginning, that we might see here a possible falling wedge, which kind of was confirmed here. Yes, we managed to break this barrier here, the upper side of it, and most importantly, we also managed to push above the 1.1830 territory, and together with the 21-day EMA. So yep, for now everything's looking quite positive here. My next target is going to be this 1.1895 territory or this 200-day EMA, which is roughly around the 1.1918 zone, and then yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. But of course, you need to keep an eye on today's economic calendar, guys. So yep, we have a bit of data coming out from the EU, so check that out. So for now, like I said, if at this point in time the pair looks a bit more positive than negative, and let's see if we can actually reach this 1.1895 territory. So guys, that's it for this session. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time. I really hope you found it useful. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.